Soul family, and welcome back to SoulCast. I'm your host, Jen Westlake from Soululaire.com, and I'm really happy to see you here again for another episode of SoulCast. And I wanted just to apologize that it's been a while and that my videos have been a little bit irregular in timing. I'll go a week, miss a day, things like that. But I just want to talk to you uh, this episode about some things that have been going on in my world. And I know that each one of you have probably experienced this or are experienced this in one way or another in your own world. And so I want to just jump in and talk about what's been going on. Several members of my Soululaire team have recently lost loved ones, family members, and special people in their lives, and they have crossed over to the other side. And I myself have another family member who is in hospice and may be crossing over pretty soon. Although every attempt to save their life is being taken, you just never know because, as we've talked about before on this channel, that there comes a time when the soul has a window to choose to either stay here and continue here on earth or to go on the other side. And then there's the time when God has decided to call them home for another mission, another assignment for his divine plan and for their own spiritual development and growth. And so today, I want to address the topic of grief. Now, how can we grieve and still maintain a high vibration? And it is challenging. And I want to talk about the different um, aspects of the grieving process. And I just have a little note here to help me remember all the 5 stages of grief. And those stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now, these 5 stages of grief can either belong to the people who are left behind and are grieving, or for the individual that is facing their own mortality. And so this is a very difficult process. It's very emotional, very mental, very psychological. And these things can throw us off balance. And so it is very difficult to maintain a high vibration as you go through these different stages. And so I just want to offer some counsel on some of the things that helped me, especially my own self talk, my own ability to observe and to witness what is going on, to pull myself out of getting drawn into the drama and the trauma of being a witness of watching someone go through their process of passing on. And so the first one is denial. The fact that we do not want to accept either the diagnosis or the situation that we may either be crossing over or our loved one has. And so the denial creates a lot of fear, creates a lot of worry and concern. It causes you to have sorrow. It causes you to be reflective. And it causes you to ask questions like, what if? And did I do enough? And why? Why now? Why did they have to go? Or why is my time up? Now, many of you who have followed my channel know that I myself have had 4 near-death experiences. And I have lost loved ones in the last few years, like many of you have. And so I feel I have a unique perspective from both sides in addressing this topic. The thing is, denial is a lot of fear. And this is the time to go within and talk to God, talk to your higher self, and find out what the meaning is for you. Some people don't have the opportunity to go through this process. I had a friend of mine who recently lost a loved one through an automobile accident, and their loved one was killed instantly. And so they just didn't have time to process. It happened suddenly. Many of you have had loved ones that have died and crossed over suddenly, unexpected, for a lot of different reasons. And so it's shocking. We can't believe it. We're in disbelief. These are all natural responses to grief and the grieving process. It is a process. The other one is anger. Now, I know for me, when my dad passed away, I was really angry about that. I wanted more time with him, and I regretted some of the opportunities that we didn't get to have, some of the things in the past that were said and done to each other. And so you go through this process, but this is a process that we all must go through. And, some of us will go through all 5 of the stages. Some of us may only go through one. Some of us may go through several. Some of us may go through these stages quickly. And some of us may go through periods of a longer grieving process. Some of us may grieve and then be fine. And then a few years later, we go through another one of these stages. Life is interesting, but as these stages unfold for you, it is your predetermined process from your cellular level, from what you chose to experience and learn before you came to Earth. The other is bargaining, especially if you know that you have been given a diagnosis that you may not have much time left. You may try to bargain with God. You may try to bargain with doctors, bargain with yourself, try to do everything you can to improve your situation. I know I did all of those things. I prayed and prayed and prayed that my sister would be healed. I tried to bargain with God to let her stay. And even though I prayed with all my heart, with real intent, believing that I shall receive, my answer was still no. And I still had to go through my grieving process. And in many ways, I still am. Another one of the stages is depression. Some of us may feel utter sorrow and deep despair, depression, discouragement, feeling lethargic and unmotivated, even feelings of low self-esteem and low self-worth and low value we may experience. Now, I want you to know that these are all natural, but they shouldn't get us to the point where we lower our vibration. This is a very sensitive topic, and I know I'm only lightly glossing over these topics. If we were in a session together, we would delve deeper into these stages for your particular circumstances and where you are mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. The final stage is acceptance. And acceptance doesn't mean everything is all right, happy-go-lucky. Acceptance means that you understand the process, you understand that your loved one is gone or that your time here on earth is coming to completion. And you get to choose. You get to use your free will on what attitude you choose to take. Now, I encourage you, if you have a diagnosis that has elicited, not much time left, I would encourage you to feel grateful for your life. I want to encourage you to feel awe-inspired for all the lessons that you have attained and for the spiritual development that you have, and that it is your time to go home with a job well done and mission complete. and that you are going to a better, beautiful place, and you're returning home into the presence of our divine creator, and that you will feel a love that you have never experienced before in this 3D existence. You will feel loved and accepted beyond your comprehension. Again, I don't have the adequate words to describe it, but I'm trying to share with you the best I can with what I've got from my own personal experiences on the other side of the veil. So I just want all of you to know, all of you who are grieving, and grief may not be because someone has crossed over. Now, it is in the situation that my team members are experiencing, but we can also feel grief for opportunities missed, relationships that have gone awry, um, things that we wish we had done, but we hadn't yet. So there's a lot of things to be that we can grieve about, that we just wish our life would have been better. Like me and my dad, I grieve for the experiences that we never got to have, the relationship that I wanted to have with my dad, the relationship I wanted to have going into the future with my twin sister. All of these are things that I'm grieving because it's a loss. And so, for all the things and people and experiences and opportunities that we have lost, we get to grieve, and it is natural. What is not healthy and what is not positive and what is not high vibrational is staying in that sorrow. We get to use our self-talk and talk ourselves out of it. We get to call upon the higher powers of the universe to offer us peace, comfort, love, and support to help us get through this. We get to ask for strength to carry us through, and courage and bravery. And we get to relinquish the past and take from it all of the good things and surrender and release all of the things that are negative and that are not in our highest and best good. Try to look at this grieving process as a silver lining where you can find hidden blessings, hidden experiences, and of course, all of your many wonderful and beautiful opportunities and memories that you've had in your life with your loved one and with where you have chosen to go now. The purpose of life is to live life to the fullest, to live life joyfully, to live life abundantly. And so, as you go through your grieving process, these are things that you get to remember to help pull yourself out of the deep, profound sorrow that you are feeling in your heart and in your soul at this time. I want to encourage you to allow yourself to let those wounds heal, because if they are prolonged, our broken hearts and wounded souls will attract more profound issues and problems that we will need to address, and that could possibly pull you down into a lower frequency, especially now after you and we have worked so hard, after all the trials, all the things that we've had to endure, all the things that we've had to suffer these last years, especially since 2020. It has been hard. Life has been hard. We have had many heartbreaks, many failures, many things ripped from us, and we still have to carry on with faith. And so I want to let you know that I love you, that I appreciate you. If you need some assistance going through your grieving process or with your own mortality, please reach out to me at hello@soululaire.com. I am a certified end-of-life doula, and I'm happy to help walk you through this grieving process. Know that you are special, know that you are important, and know that you have the strength and courage to get through this. With all my heart and soul, I offer you my love and blessings, And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.